Yo, what's up guys? Darren, the Exotic Fan Race here, back with another video. So today I'm just going to be talking about the race at Indianapolis, giving you a quick review of the race. As you know, Bubba Wallace won the race, and congratulations to him. Bubba Wallace is one of those drivers where it's like, he's just like a unique race car driver. He brings that like engagement with the fans, in my opinion. Like, I wouldn't say obviously he's not the level as Tony Stewart was, but we all know Bubba Wallace sometimes get into arguments with people and controversy with drivers, and he's just like, he basically has that character about him, and obviously because of his race as well. He's the only Black American driver in the Cup Series right now racing, and he just has a huge character behind him because of those reasons I explained before. So congratulations to him winning once again, basically. But we all know, I mean, come on, Bubba Wallace, he is the same category as Ross Chastain, and to I could think of right off the bat who has this kind of similar one-off races, where they just win one race for the season, and then they just don't even win another race, or they don't even really have a shot to be up front to win races consistently. And Bubba Wallace similar to Ross Chastain, because look, Ross Chastain did win the Crown Jewel 600, and Bubba Wallace won the Brickyard, so they're very similar, right? Back in 2023 or 2022, I think Bubba Wallace, when he won the race, the Kansas race, I believe it was a playoff race. I think it was back in 2023 or 2022. I had thought that Bubba Wallace was going to propel himself into, having a competitive, career, week in and week out. But sadly, I was mistaken. And, he's just that guy right now who basically, shows up at these one-offs and wins, just like how Ross Chastain do. That's how it is. And until he could start to be up front week in and week out, then that'll change. But, so, Bubba Wallace is, I wouldn't say he got lucky, but he definitely put himself in a position where he could be able to win the race today, right? And, it's good for him, but we all know that he's not going to win the championship. Prove me wrong about that. And he's not going to be a competitor in the playoffs. I would say he's going to get eliminated probably maybe round of 12 at most. Maybe if he really gets lucky or really gets himself, if everything goes his way, round of 8. But he's not making it to the championship game. Round of 12 elimination bye. I would say he gets eliminated. Honestly, the round of 12. He gets eliminated. I just don't see it. Honestly, round of 16. Honestly, to be honest with you. Because is Bubba Wallace is going to be up front next week in Iowa? Probably not. Probably not. He's not going to be up front at Iowa next weekend. Or he's going to have a shot to win the race. I don't think so. So, yeah. So that's that. And, other notables for the race, I mean, we did see Hamlin, I was surprised. I thought Hamlin had won a Brickyard before. He never won a Brickyard. I could have sworn Hamlin won a Brickyard. I was surprised when they say Denny Hamlin never won it. That shocked me. So, obviously he had a chance today, did not get it done. But what makes Indy so good is the strategy and the fuel mileage, and the cautions and the stages. That's what makes the strategy and the fuel mileage is what really makes Indianapolis, the race, so good. The racing is bottom tier. It's not that great. And, it's just, thank God we only have it once a year. and it makes sense to have it once a year. Indianapolis is not the best racetrack right now when it comes to NASCAR. Yeah, otherwise than that, I mean, Kyle Hamlin, they also signed a 2-year contract extending Majority Racing until 2027. So, the thing about Hamlin that amazes me about Denny Hamlin is that he's been racing with the same team, the same organization for 20 years. I believe he made his debut in 2004 and he raced full time, I believe, 2005. So 20 years, 21 years, he's been basically with the same team, same organization, same number, same sponsor up to last year with FedEx, same primary. Now it's Progressive, and he just been, just got better over time. And that's why I'm going to root for Denny Hamlin to be able to win a championship this year. Because the guy deserves it, and he's competing at a high level at such a critical age where people normally start to fall off even years before, which is obviously in his 40s and coming towards his middle of his 40s, right? You see Kyle Busch fall off. I think he's in his 40s or 39 or something. So yeah, I think there's something about Hamlin, like he just seems relaxed. He just had his baby boy, and I think that he's just more relaxed. He's not to worry about now, and he's just been there, done that, and knows what to expect. And I feel like now Hamlin is in a position where I think he could seal the deal this year. Is it a guarantee he's gonna seal the deal? No, because we obviously know the problems that this playoff format does present when you get into, the playoffs, and especially deep in Martinsville and all those kind of races, So we'll see, but, he's looking to be at a stronger position to win a championship this year than I would say in the past years. But once you get Hamlin to the championship form, just give him an opportunity. Because the last 2 years, I don't believe he made it to the Final Four. But just give him opportunity to be able to be in the Final Four. I think, in my eyes, there's a high probability he's probably going to win the championship. So, because he's been racing 20 plus years in the Cup Series. And he just has the most experience compared to all these other drivers. So, and that's what pays off. Paid off with Harvick. So, should be able to pay off with him. He just got to make it to the Final Four. And I'm going to root for him right now. I mean, we had Logano, I honestly thought he was probably going to win this race. But until he had that flat tire. But then I thought it was Larson, and then basically, Bubba Wallace. But the race was, I would say it was entertaining. I think more entertaining than last year's race. For some odd reason, because of the fact that I think there was a little more strategy involved in this year's race, right? And it was just so expected that Kyle Larson would have probably won the race, because he's obviously very strong in Indianapolis, and the team knows how to get it done, and they have fast race cars. They won last year. So the fact that he didn't win the race also made it kind of a good race too. And yeah, I mean, I know I haven't been making race reviews and stuff, but let me know if you want to see more race reviews. Just a quick video. So next week we go to Iowa, and at our racetrack, we all know that this car doesn't perform good at short track. Iowa is considered short track, I think so. But what makes Iowa such a good race with this Gen 7 car, or what could potentially make it such a good race, is the track has character. It's bumpy. It's not a smooth surface. And when you obviously have bumps in the racetrack and the track is not a smooth surface, tires are gonna wear out more. That creates more passing and comers and goers, and all those normal stuff that makes racing pretty good. So I think the race in Iowa is probably gonna be a good race. And I think Iowa, the race designed, you could basically I don't know if they're gonna put PG1, but it's, in my opinion, it might not be a one groove racetrack, or the groove could widen out, because you could probably use that top lane, you could use the bottom lane, you could use the middle lane too. So I think you're in for a good race because of how it's a multi-groove racetrack. It's not a one-groove racetrack. Like in Indianapolis, the bottom was the dominant way to go at Indianapolis, right? The bottom. And Indianapolis is it's not really a good race for NASCAR in general in terms of racing quality, because of the dirty air and but at Indy, the primary groove is the bottom, and it takes time for the top to kind of come in, but the primary groove is the bottom. The Gen 7 car performs good at multi-groove racetracks, and especially the mile and a half. It excels in the mile and a halves. Dover is not a multi-groove racetrack. Dover is like a bottom lane racetrack. It's like Bristol on steroids. So basically, Iowa should be good, because it's considered a multi-groove racetrack. Texas is another racetrack that's not going to be good, basically. So that's where the Gen 7 car shines. I believe Gateway too could be considered a multi-groove racetrack maybe. So I don't want to keep the video too long, but that's it for another video. I'm going to see you guys in the next one.